Hello, this is Michael Stahl of Total 13 King, and welcome to another episode of To Every Planet. Okay, so today we are going to Eve's moon. Its name is Gilly, and it's coming up on the screen now. It is the smallest celestial body in the game. And that makes it pretty fun to do things on. Okay, so we're loading the ship now. And you can see it's split into an orbiter and a lander, just so I don't have to dock them in orbit, because that would take ages. And it's a pretty old ship. You can see that because I am not using my normal lifting body. I would usually be using my Olympus lifting body, but now... No, sorry, this is my Orion lifting body. I'd normally be using my Titan lifting body. So we begin the climb into orbit on the way to Gilly. Gravity turn there. An interesting thing about Gilly is that you can jump, or you can get into orbit with a jump and a quick RCS. Burst. There we go. When I was in orbit, I was actually only going 19 meters per second, and that's a stable orbit around Gilly. And that makes it really easy to get back. We have Bob, Neilfrid and Barman today. And Neilfrid and Bob will be making it to the surface of Gilly. I know I could have just, like, jumped down to the surface, but I felt a lander would be more, you know, it'd be cooler. Just setting up for the massive burn that will take us on the way to orbit, and then an even bigger burn on the way to Gilly, or to Eve. So the plan is to go to Eve, aero capture around Eve, burn to Gilly, and then from there we'll get into orbit, land, and then do something a little bit unplanned, and then we'll dock and fly away. And then we'll fly away back to Kerbin and land. Sped this up 8 times for you with the magic of video editing, just to save you 3 hours. You know, good old, you know, you're welcome. But yeah, this was a massive burn. My God. So you can see Eve is the bright neon yellow highlighted circle. Represents its position. And here I am adjusting my inclination, just so that we don't come in on a polar side. We want to come in equatorial, so it's easier to adjust to the inclination of Gilly, because Gilly's off by about 10 degrees. I think it's 10 degrees. And so we want to be as close to the equator as we can, so that we can just adjust 10 degrees instead of maybe, you know, 60, 70 degrees. So I redock the lander and the orbiter for a very important reason, and it's that if you have a ship and you split it into 2, and they both have the exact same name, then over time one of them will be deleted. I'm not quite sure why that works, but it's pretty bad. Yeah. Oh, error capture around Eve. It's pretty bad, so I named one of them Orbital Sentinel class. Orbiter Sentinel class, even. So we use the really cheap method of slowing down, that is the atmosphere. Good old Eve. Eve was very nice to me today. Relationship is better than last time. And you can see there that the sunrise on Eve was actually green. I think it's supposedly due to the nature of the atmosphere, but that's quite interesting. Sunrises are bright green. Okay, so yet another burn. Woo! This will boost us up to the altitude of Gilly, where we can enter its sphere of influence, slow down into a stable orbit. Here's the burn now. Again, this is real time, but it's nearly finished with the burn. And so this burn took, I want to say, I think it took 4 minutes 52 seconds. So, yeah. Gliding up to the altitude of the moon. It looks a bit like a potato. Yeah. I'm not quite sure why. I think what it is it has too little gravity to sustain a round sphere shape, and so it gets a bit of a potato shape because all the mountains and the rocks are just there's not enough gravity to hold them into a sphere shape, which is pretty interesting because those are probably about the size of mountains on Kerman, and yet they look massive here. Also note the speed or velocity. You'll notice I actually start pushing myself downwards just to speed up the descent. I wanted to land on top of the mountain just for logistics. So I kind of did a quick burn and coasted upwards. You really can, this is real time now, here we are. You really can get a sense of the just lack of any velocity or movement on Gilly just because of the minuscule amounts of gravity. There you see, I'm actually bouncing, pushing myself down, turning off SES, whatever it is to actually get all 3 legs on the ground. Gilly just doesn't try. It's too small. That said, it is pretty fun. So we got Bob Kerman out here. Good old Bob. That was awkward. That was even more awkward. Yeah. So RCSing, if that's a word now. RCSing down to the surface, pushing myself downwards just to actually, touch the ground. And great job, me. Put the flag the wrong way round. We're gonna go with it. There we go. Feel free to pause and rewind that video just to read what it says, even though I don't see why you would. And doing a jump to demonstrate the gravity strength of Gilly, or lack thereof. Yeah, jump pretty high on Gilly. It's oh yeah. Basically, if I had done a small boost with my RCS pack, then I would have just made it into orbit. Which is just, yeah. Gilly, everyone. Come back into real time now. That took a while, actually, doing that, even on 4 times time warp. It's a pretty big jump. So I spared you the photo taking and the thumbnail capturing and whatnot. And then I remembered that I actually have another lander like this one on the surface, but I didn't change the name of the fix the flag. Didn't change the name of the orbiter, and it got deleted. So I do some thinking, and I figure I can actually dock the landers together, and then transfer all the crew and one lander with the orbiter, because I can fit all 5 crew in that way, and then I can get them all back. So I try the plan out, and works pretty well. So here is the second lander taking off, joining with the first lander. Another annoying bit about Gilly is that's as much as you can zoom in at, because it's so small. It's 36 kilometers across from diameter, and that's not very much. I mean, you know, Kerbon is 300 kilometers, just for a sense of scale. So it's roughly 10 times wider, narrow, 10 times smaller by diameter. So here we are, docking the landers together. This was fun. This bit was interesting, because you actually start to notice that Gilly does have gravity, because your reticules start drifting in on this noticeably. But in the end, we make it back in real time. Here we go. Starting to tip SAS. There we go. And we prepare ourselves for the burn. And then we do the burn, and then burn. Oh yeah. Okay. So we are now about to dock with the Sentinel class orbiter. Transferring all the fuel now, because we do not need that second lander anymore. We're going to use one of them as a bit of crew space, to just hold all 5 crew, so I'm not just leaving these guys in orbit, because that would just be cruel. And I'd also waste another, 3 hours just to get 2 crew back. May as well pick them up while I'm here, so I thought. And I did that. Goodbye, Gilly. Just showing you the beginning of the burn, just to prove that I'm actually doing the burn. I don't know why I'm so weird about that. That's, yeah. Okay, so we have an intercept, and we are racing towards Kerbin now at an unholy velocity. Here we go. I'm making sure that we actually come in equatorially-ish, and also that we hit the atmosphere. But, all my efforts were kind of in vain because of KSP physics, everyone. Yeah. Again, this is still an 8 times time warp as we make the last, yeah, that was some amazing spinning, Michael. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. Make our way out of the atmosphere, and then we actually detach these 2 guys because we can't actually land the lander because, no parachutes, and so it kind of explode, killing them all, and that's a bit of a waste of effort and time if I just end up killing them anyway. So I decide to leave those guys in orbit, and I'll pick them up post-recording. So coming in now with Bob, Neilfrid and Barman. Re-entry effects as we slow down from 4 kilometers per second down to 0 in a matter of minutes. But your car can't do that, neither can mine. I don't have a car. My other car's a rocket. No. Okay, so as we make our way down, I'm going to begin to prepare for the end of this video, because I always rush it at the end. Deployed parachutes, that's good that they work. Always good if your parachutes work. If they don't, get a refund. Never buy cheap parachutes, guys. You never know. Never know what might happen with them. So 250 meters left. A minuscule distance compared to what we were used to in interplanetary distances that we've been dealing with. Touchdown. So, the end of this episode. I've been Michael Stoll, Turtle13 King. See you guys next time.